Movie theater scare, not in Colorado, but right here in Northeast Ohio. Police say a North Ridgeville man is caught in a showing of The Dark Knight Rises in Crocker Park, armed with knives, a gun, and more than 50 rounds. Tonight, Scott Smith is facing numerous charges. It is a story that is shocking people here locally and all across the country tonight. Good evening, I'm Chris Flanagan.
And I'm Lee Jordan. We have team coverage of this movie theater scare tonight. Investigator Sarah Buddison has been hard at work all day, gathering information on Smith's background to piece together exactly who he is. But we begin with News Channel 5's Paul Kiska. He's been covering this story for us in Westlake all day. Paul, police say Smith is hinting at a reason for why he was armed.
Yeah, but they don't believe him. They're not buying it, Lee. Westlake police say late this afternoon that Scott Smith, 37-year-old Scott Smith of North Ridgeville, hinted that he had these weapons for self-defense. Again, Westlake police don't believe him. Now, this all started Saturday night here at Regal Cinemas, Crocker Park in Westlake, when an off-duty Westlake police officer working security here at the movie theater asked to search Smith's military-style bag he had with him. Police say inside that bag, like the one you're about to see, Smith had a loaded handgun, 3 magazines filled with a total of 51 rounds of ammunition, 3 large hunting knives, and 1 hunting knife on him. Police arrested Smith and impounded his truck, which had gun decals on it. Police said Smith does not have gun permits. Police say Smith made no verbal threats, but his actions were threatening and suspicious, including where he sat before the movie Batman: The Dark Knight Rises was set to start.
What concerns us is where he was sitting in the theater. He was the first guy in there, the only guy in there, sat in the last row, right in the middle, a tactical advantage position, basically. His back was to the wall. Basically, if he chose to do something there, all his potential victims were in front of him, and he would have an advantage over them.
I don't know what you would do, security-wise. Like, I mean, you can't put metal detectors in, and, I mean, you don't want a lockdown situation just to see a movie.
Now, police say that, again, 37-year-old Scott Smith is married with a 1-year-old child. They searched his home in North Ridgeville, where police say they found 19 more rifles, handguns, thousands of rounds of ammunition, survivalist-type gear, including gas masks. His case is expected to go before a grand jury for potentially even more charges. Live in Westlake tonight, Paul Kiska, News Channel 5.
And Paul, as we saw in your story, a lot of people asking questions about, you know, should we have metal detectors? Don't really want to do that. This theater, I think like most theaters, does post regulations prohibiting patrons from bringing firearms into the theater.
Lee, they do exactly that. They have also increased security after what happened in Colorado recently. Regal Cinemas issuing a lengthy statement about everything you just talked about. And for more on that, our viewers can go to newsnet5.com.
Paul Kiska reporting from Westlake. Thanks, Paul. And we're also learning more about Scott Smith tonight. Investigator Sarah Buddison has been digging into his background all day. Sarah, you've discovered some interesting details about this guy.
That's right, Lee. We're still waiting for answers to many of our questions, but we do know the 37-year-old father committed a crime just by bringing a gun to the movies. Westlake police say 37-year-old Scott Smith did not have a concealed carry permit that would have allowed him to bring a gun to Regal Crocker Park Stadium, although of course the theater does not allow firearms inside. Outside of that, we found Smith appears to have no criminal record, but does have more than a dozen traffic citations just in the city of Elyria. Police also say Smith told them he served in the military for a short time, but didn't give details. We called military spokespersons. We're still waiting to find out if Smith did serve his country. Smith currently lives in North Ridgeville, but has a long list of previous addresses in Pennsylvania and Massachusetts. So far, we don't know what he was doing there, but we have asked for court records on Smith from those states. We also know Smith seemed to have money troubles. He filed for Chapter 7 in 2010, but the case was eventually dismissed. And we also know he was ordered to pay a collection agency close to $8 grand in 2010. We're still working hard to get more information on Smith, and as soon as we get it, we'll bring it to you. Live in the newsroom, I'm investigator Sarah Buddison.
Okay, Sarah, thanks very much. News Channel 5 also went to Smith's neighborhood in North Ridgeville today. Neighbors say his street is the last place you'd expect to find trouble. As for Smith, they say he seems like a pretty normal guy, and they're surprised he'd be connected to something like this.
Drives a truck, drives a motorcycle, owns some guns, but pretty normal American.
He seemed pretty friendly, talkative. You know, nothing out of the ordinary at all.
So again, Scott Smith is facing numerous charges tonight after police say he took a gun, ammo, and knives into a theater at the Regal Cinemas at Crocker Park. He could be arraigned tomorrow. Tonight on News Channel 5 at 11, we'll take a closer look at whether this movie theater scare will affect local moviegoers. And for updates on this story anytime, head over to newsnet5.com. If you want the latest news at your fingertips, download our news app on your smartphone or mobile device.